world, stepping into international management for the first time. A change in direction, a new beginning, bringing new opportunities. The Mauricio Pochettino era is underway. And they start off here against a CONCACAF opponent that inflicted a huge wound in Copa America just a few months ago. A result that maybe changed the course of this US men's national team, leading to the moment we are in today. Panama winning by 2-1 against this US team in Atlanta in Copa America. But this is a different look. Great atmosphere inside Q2 Stadium tonight. And Ream, the captain on the night, plays the ball forward down the left side towards Robinson, into the path of Christian Pulisic, who scored in the 1-1 draw against New Zealand. Now it's Robinson into the box, and he couldn't quite find a way through. A couple of half-hearted shouts maybe for a penalty there.
Well, lovely combination. Pulisic was inside, and then the interchange comes wide, and just a little bit behind. Robinson does well to drag it in front of him, and then the second touch gets it out from under his feet. No penalty there, but already the posture. You're seeing Christian Pulisic very inside. A deep block, mid-block at times where it's very compact and hard to play through from Panama.
Credit to the fans inside the stadium for the way that they are bringing it tonight to make sure that there is a good atmosphere in the stands on such a night of significance. Barcenas playing the ball down the right, up towards Guerrero, the Dynamo Kiev man who is the central striker tonight for Panama. This goes out of play. Anthony Robinson forging into the box there in the opening seconds of this one. Actually scored the last time the US played here at Q2 Stadium in Austin. It was last November, a 3-0 win against Trinidad and Tobago in the CONCACAF Nations League quarter-final first leg. Pepe, Robinson and Reyna scoring that night. Here's Carrasquilla, the Houston man, played forward down the right. Out it comes for Blackman on that left side. Played on the right against the US in the summer. Panama's first game since the Copa America. They didn't play in the September window. The last time they were on the pitch was a 5-0 defeat against Colombia in the Copa America quarter-final in Glendale. It was their first ever Copa knockout game. Christian Martinez turning the ball forward down the right. Barcenas, the captain. Back it goes for Farinha, who plays for Kimki in Russia. And the 22-year-old defender out to Miller on the far side. Rodriguez. Picked up here by Scally.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Both teams without the ball, playing in this very compact mid-block. And Pochettino, I looked down in that last little sequence. He doesn't want them pressing high right from the start. He wants to find those triggers where they can release out of that mid-block and go try to win the ball high up the field.
Lucio finds Morris, who had a very good September window. Lucio given the start tonight, his first start for the senior team since the 2023 Gold Cup semi-final, which was against Panama. Here's Morris with a lofted little flick towards Pulisic. High tempo, high octane stuff here through 3.5 minutes as Bucio feeds it wide to the right for Joe Scally. And here's Yunus Musa. 42nd cap for Yunus Musa tonight. Back it comes for Aidan Morris. And Middlesbrough man finds Aronson. It will be very fluid up top for the US when they're in position here and possession. And this is Musa. Bucio. That cross taking a deflection on the way through. Josh Sargent battling to try and get there. But it's through to the keeper, Orlando Mosquera.
Well, you can see what he's trying to do. And just watch, he's sneaking in to the blind spot. Right there, Farina, and just tries to get his foot planted ahead of that clearance. It was hard to tell from that replay. There's definitely a slight contact, but not enough for a penalty.
Mauricio Pochettino, the 52-year-old Argentine, named the US head coach back on September the 10th. It was the day of the 1-1 draw against New Zealand. The stadium there in Cincinnati was shown a message from Pochettino as he was named to the position, having left Chelsea in May after one season in charge.
Yeah, the good part about the fluidity of Aronson and Pulisic. They're creating these moments with that back three, just not really sure if they've got to leave that back line and open up these nice little gaps for people to run through.
It's pretty much a three-man back line for the US when they're in possession. Here is Aronson bursting forward. The challenge came in there from Martinez. Spent some time in Major League Soccer. Christian Martinez with both Columbus and a shorter spell with Chicago. Reams ball forward into the midfield for Morris. And Musa, who's playing wide on the right side today. Musa cutting in from that touchline. They'll get on the end of this one, but foot in from Blackman puts the ball out of play.
Well, Pochettino will love that from Aidan Morris. You know, just finding the right spots in case the ball turns over, and just does so well not only to win it, but to start the counterattack and play into those advanced vertical positions. Morris was the star player in a very torrid and miserable performance last game against New Zealand, and starting really bright here.
Robinson cushions that off for Christian Pulisic. Couldn't find the ball back through for the Fulham man who had made the run down that left side. Here's Busio. Back it goes for McKenzie. First start together for this back four. Freeman McKenzie starting a couple of games together previously. Here's Josh Sargent. Down the left it goes for Robinson. The numbers piling forward into the box as the cross comes in. And Musa is the one nearest to it at the back post. Green stepping forward. The Charlotte man gets it into Morris. Picked up by Scally on the right. Free-flowing football through the opening 6.5 minutes here in Austin, Texas, but possession turned over here. Martinez finds Coco Carrasquilla. Murillo on the right, the former New York Red Bulls man. US Soccer on TNT is brought to you by AT&T. Connecting changes everything. 7 minutes in Austin, Texas, at Q2 Stadium in Mauricio Pochettino's first game in charge. It's goalless between the US and Panama. Out of play it goes on the far side off Joe Scally. Scally coming into the lineup is one of 6 changes tonight from the 1-1 draw against New Zealand in Cincinnati in the last window. Scally, Ream, Anthony Robinson, Busio, Pulisic and Sargent, the players coming in. 5 starters from that game were Turner, McKenzie, Musa, Morris and Aronson, who get the call again tonight. And of course, a long list of players unavailable for Mauricio Pochettino here tonight. Lots of injuries keeping players out who would be involved or in the lineup. McKenzie gets a foot in, and he comes away with the ball. No Tyler Adams after the back surgery. Or Balogun out with a shoulder injury.
Well, Garcia, the referee, is having a really good start to this game. You know, letting things go, letting the intensity of the match grow a little bit.
Great moment tonight with Katia Garcia, the 32-year-old from Mexico City, taking charge of the game. First woman to take charge of a US men's national team game. Assisted by Sandra Ramirez and Karen Diaz, the 2 assistant referees, also from Mexico. She's been on the FIFA list since 2019. Refereed some international games on the men's side in the Nations League back in May, Costa Rica against Guadeloupe. Referee at the 2023 Women's World Cup, and has taken charge of a few US women's national team games, including that W Gold Cup game at Snapdragon Stadium in San Diego earlier this year. US and Canada, where it ended up being played in a bit of a swimming pool that night. Katia Garcia in charge of that one. Here's Tim Ream.
And you can see that they're almost building out of a back three, and Musa's just staying incredibly wide, and with Robinson doing the same. You know, that's where they're trying to stretch out this defensive block, trying to find those inside passing channels. And then once they do and break through that first line of pressure, that's where that interchanging fluidity has been so dynamic early on for the U.S.
There were a lot of interesting things that Mauricio Pochettino had to say when we talked to him yesterday. Had the opportunity to spend around an hour with him after training. And one of them was about getting the best of players and returning them to their clubs as good or in an even better situation than when they left those clubs. And Robinson coming down the left side here. He gets that ball along the edge of the penalty area. Robinson picks it up here, drives the ball across goal. Scrambled away for a corner on the left side.
Just look at that starting position as that ball gets changed. Look at, there isn't another Panamanian defender there to come and try to help, and a poor first touch there, but look at the pressure right away. That's the thing that Pochettino is going to be so focused on and stressing, is winning the ball back after it turns over in those attacking positions.
Pulisic on the edge of the box up against Coco Carrasquilla. Chips a good cross into the middle, and the keeper Mosquera got a touch to it. Mark McKenzie was in there, probably the closest US player to the ball. As Morris plays it back out to Busio on the far side. And they'll come across the back here for Anthony Robinson. Here's Tim Reams. The US keep the pressure on early. Pulisic cutting towards the edge of the box. Finds Anthony Robinson once again. Back after missing that last window. Scally. Musa on the right comes back for Busio. Scally once again.
Look how quickly the ball's flying off of the US.
Robinson's ball forward. And Pulisic can't quite get there at the byline as it's cleared away by Roderick Miller for Panama.
I mean, Panama just can't get any pressure, and that positional awareness when US is in possession, there's always someone in proximity to go and press. And here's that last chance, short corner. And this is just lovely. Little chop, looks up, floats one. Oh man, McKenzie, he can't believe that he doesn't get a touch to this. He probably expects the collision with the goalkeeper. Hard to tell from that angle if he could have gotten a touch to it, but it looked like it was at a perfect height.
Mark McKenzie yet to get an international goal. Such a contrast to the way that the US started the games in the last international window. The defeat against Canada in Kansas City and the draw with New Zealand. Rosenas all the way out to the left side for Blackman. Panama actually winning 2 of the last 4 meetings against the US and advancing on penalties in another. Prior to those 4 games, the US unbeaten in 14 straight against Panama with 10 wins. Just back to the point about Mauricio Pochettino and what he had to say about sending players back in a more confident mood. He wants to use this moment to try and get some players into their teams back home by their performances and building up their confidence when they come back into the team. And one of the players he talked about was Musa. Putting him in a position today, take a little bit of pressure off him and try and get the best out of Yunus Musa without that pressure of being that holding midfielder where one pass or one misplaced pass could cause a problem as it did in the last window.
Well, listen, we talked about it a lot in the last 2 games. Musa was nothing like himself. And I stressed, this is a player that the U.S. needs. Musa is an incredible player who's, at this point, not getting enough starts for this club team. He is getting appearances, and don't look too much into what positions people are going to play in the early Pochettino era. It's a lot about building players up, getting them confidence, and honestly, whether a player is here or not, Pochettino doesn't have a lot of games, especially doesn't have a lot of competitive games with no qualifying. So making sure that players believe in themselves and then get a lot of reps when they get back with their club teams, and that's the focus that Pochettino was stressing us.
Foul by McKenzie. Eduardo Guerrero, the striker, pulled down. And a free kick coming here for Panama, just to the right of goal. Matt Turner getting the call in goal tonight, 30-year-old from Park Ridge, New Jersey. Canada, the only game this year that Matt Turner hasn't played in a FIFA window. Patrick Schulte got the start in Kansas City. Turner lining up his 3-man wall. "15 minutes in here in Austin. It's driven in by Jose Luis Rodriguez, straight against the wall. Rodriguez. Robinson trying to watch that one out of play, and he did a good job there against Michael Murillo. Luke Wellman and Kyle Martino in the broadcast booth here in Austin, Texas, and Melissa Ortiz pitchside.
Guys, center back and captain Tim Ream is 37 years old, and he's been on this team for about 14 years now, and he's the oldest outfield captain since 2001. His long-term goal he shared with us is, of course, the 2026 World Cup, and his short and medium term is focusing on helping this team and continuing to rack up minutes. Kyle and I had joked around about what is the secret potion to the longevity in such a long career, and he said to keep on playing, keep on learning, keep pushing, and if you can do that, you can continue to adapt and continue to play. And guess what? If someone isn't going to physically take my spot, he said, I'm going to keep on performing.
He's played every minute of the last 8 Charlotte games since his debut against the Red Bulls back in August, following his move back to Major League Soccer after 9 years with Fulham, 3 promotions and 312 appearances for the side from Craven Cottage.
What an incredible career.
Mauricio Pochettino was just so genuine in his admiration for Ream and the way that he was approaching this camp, and his conversations with Pochettino about knowing his role and that team-first mentality.
Well, the first captain he's picked, and there'll probably be a few that wear that armband, but I'd imagine that impression had a lot to do with giving him that armband.
Blackman inside here for Martinez. Across the back here for Fariña. 27th meeting between these teams dating back to 1993. Flag is up for offside here. 17 minutes in. Your early thoughts on this side and what you've seen tonight under a new head coach?
It was, you could say, what we expected, but what you hope is that there is a spirit, a competitive nature that's there, especially in transitions. But even with time on the ball, we saw it in the passing drills in training the other day, just zipping it around, not dithering on the ball, not taking a lot of time, just everything about what they do has a purpose, has a focus, has an intensity about it. And then I love the fluidity of how they're interchanging, and it absolutely has given Panama problems early on. And Panama just has to be able to start to establish some possession. In these transition moments, there are players that were chasing around, and by the time they get on the ball, they're a little bit gassed, but also there's a swarm of blue jerseys coming after them to try to win the ball back.
McKenzie out to the right for Scally. And the ball floated long down that right side for Musa to chase. Back to the keeper it goes, and Orlando Mosquera couldn't deal with it. It's out on the far side for a US corner. Orlando Mosquera, the keeper who plays for Al Fayed in Saudi Arabia. Christian Pulisic making his way over to the far side to take this. He has 4 goals against Panama in 5 games in his international career, including a hat-trick in the penultimate match of 2022 World Cup qualifier. The outswing it in towards the 6-yard box. Mosquera able to punch it away, and Carrasquilla will chase over to the far side. Sure, I heard a few boos there from the Austin faithful for the Houston Dynamo man. Bit of a Texas
subplot
rivalry. Miller leaves the throw on the far side for Blackman. Roderick Miller hoists it high, putting his defenders under pressure. And a couple of times at the back where Panama have looked anything but secure. Scally will bring this one down.
You saw Miller in that close-up. He just wasn't ready. I mean, he was trying to find some wind. Just chest going in and out, having to exert a lot of energy to try to close down this U.S. team.
Morris with the ball out wide to the right for Musa. He's got support over there from Aronson. Back to Scally. Pochettino talking to us about Aidan Morris, who's on the ball now, how he views him as a dynamic holding midfielder. Thinks he can form a good partnership with Lucio tonight in the absence of Adams, Cardoso, De La Torre.
You saw Pulisic just sneak into your screen. I mean, he's spending a lot of time in the inverted position and even floating over on that far side of the field, just right there at the center circle.
Should mention as well, no Weston McKennie in the starting lineup tonight. He is available on the bench, but Mauricio Pochettino talked in general about trying to make sure, we mentioned about not sending players back in a worse state than they are in when they arrive. As a former club manager, he wants to get his players back.
Weston's had a lot of minutes.
He's had a lot of minutes. He said you have to be careful in games like this where it's not a qualifying game or there's something on the line, where it could actually, because of a player's minutes or because of a player's workload, cause more harm than good in the long term. You have to think about that over the course of the two games, managing a player and making sure that they're comfortable and they return to their club able to continue playing the amount of minutes that they have been. And that's something that he talked about with a view to every player, not just Weston McKennie. Busio turns it wide to Musa on that right side. This is Scally. Now Robinson. Busio forward for Pulisic. Picked up here by Barcenas. Plays for Mazatlan and Liga MX. Out off Robinson here for a throw for Panama on the right. Panama losing 3 of their last 5 games since back-to-back World Cup qualifying wins against Guyana and Montserrat. 2-0 and 3-1 back in June. Starting their World Cup qualifying campaign for 2026 last June, and then a year off before they play again in World Cup qualifying next July. Just about the midway mark in this first half as Aronson plays it in towards Josh Sargent. Sargent trying to get some space, feeds it in for Musa, a first-time ball across goal, blocked by Miller, and then Musa into the path of Morris. Back for Yunus Musa. Here's Busio. The pressure building here from the United States. Morris with the ball back across goal. It's Pulisic. It's deflected behind off Fariña for a corner.
Yeah, again, Aiden Morris, the one that leaves that central spot to go win that ball back. And Pulisic, watch, this is a phenomenal touch from Pulisic, but I think Busio just steps in and has obviously the much better chance. Yeah, it's very loud in here. The atmosphere has been great. Probably doesn't hear the shout to leave it.
Pulisic's out-swinging delivery. Mosquera couldn't quite get there. Busio. Anthony Robinson wrapping his foot around that one, but couldn't keep it down. Anthony Robinson, the 27-year-old, had played every minute of the previous 9 games in a FIFA window before missing the September games. Couple of assists against Panama in a 5-1 World Cup qualifying victory in Orlando in March of 2022. The last 4 full-time head coaches for the US men's national team were undefeated in their first game in charge, including Greg Berhalter, who played against Panama back in January of 2019 in Glendale with a 3-0 win. Barcenas with the ball across goal, Turner able to claim.
Well, that's a beautifully timed run. Excellent control there. Has a look over his shoulder, and Barcenas just tries to sneak that ball near a post, and really sure hands from Matt Turner there.
We've seen the occasional flash of attacking intent from Panama. US dominating possession. Panama do have some dangerous attacking weapons. Barcenas of Mazatlan, Rodriguez of Juarez, both playing in Mexico. You've got Guerrero up top from Dinamo Kiev. Here's Robinson. Murillo. Araskia backwards towards Fariña. This is Miller, who plays his club football in Azerbaijan.
It's such a tough game for those attacking players. Arsenas and some of the very skillful players that you need to grow into a game. You need touches, you need confidence, and to go so long without getting touches, especially in attacking positions, it's so hard to build into the game.
Hammered away there by Fariña, out to the far side for Cesar Blackman. Josh Sargent will put pressure on here. Panama with the US defense backpedaling as that's hit straight towards Matt Turner. Arsenas testing the Crystal Palace man. Turner yet to make his debut for Palace. He's been an unused substitute in the last 4 Premier League games for them. Aronson on the far side, Musa battling to win it back. Rodriguez finds Blackman inside for Karaskia. Murillo's ball backwards and the keeper just unable to keep it in play. The assistant on the far side has the flag up for a corner for the United States. Of times now where they have caused a problem for themselves.
Just these little details. I mean, Robinson, you can't see how far he goes to cover this ground. And just getting the head down of defenders that are tired, that haven't gotten into the rhythm of the game. It's just those little details and the accumulation of those details that has meant this first quarter of an hour has been so dominant.
The front post this time from Pulisic. Hooked away by Rodriguez. On the far side. Busio wins the challenge. He's done really well there, Busio. Gets it back from Musa. Now it's Aidan Morris. Aronson gives away the free kick after the US gave away possession into the 28th minute. In Austin, Texas, 0-0 between the United States and Panama. This is Fidel Escobar, the 29-year-old central defender for Saprissa in Costa Rica. Martinez. Christian Martinez once again. Spent 3 years with Columbus in MLS. 1 year with the Fire. Referee allowing play to continue here as Panama have the ball. Into the middle for Karaskia.
Well, these are the moments that the U.S. need to rest. They've obviously put a lot of energy into the beginning of this game.
Green cushions the header down for Aidan Morris.
And you need to rest in those defensive positions, but not shut off.
Musa driving forward towards the heart of the Panama defense. No way through on this occasion. Martinez through. Arsenas backwards for Karaskia, who got a red card against the US in Copa America. It's his 60th cap tonight, the Houston midfielder. Christian Martinez, who now plays in Israel. 47th cap for him. Martinez started all 4 games in Copa America. Now in 14 games in a row for Panama, scored a goal against Guyana in World Cup qualifying in June. Martinez heavily involved in their midfield so far tonight.
A very interesting detail. Whenever that ball comes into those central positions, into that area of contention, there hasn't been one moment where a Panamanian player has passed the ball and not had contact, not had someone come put a hand, a foot, a body on them.
Morris finds Busio, the first time they've played together on the same pitch for the US men's national team. They have played together before at youth level in the midfield. Busio and Morris started together twice for US youth teams, including a 2-2 friendly against France with the under-23s in March.
red. Looked like a good tackle.
Mauricio Pochettino spending much of his time trying to get clear ideas with and without the ball across to his players. They haven't had a lot of time, but they've had some long training sessions. Like yesterday, one of the longest matchday -1 training sessions I've known at either club or international level, as Pochettino spent a lot of time working with his starting 11 just to try and run through patterns of play both with and without the ball. His moves are driving towards the edge of the penalty area. Now McKenzie, and across for Ream. 8th start of the year for Tim Ream. Played 90 minutes against Canada in September before not playing against New Zealand. This is Josh Sargent. Away by Martinez. Carrasquilla flicks it forward. Guerrero tried to hold that one up. He'll come away with the ball. Once again, the US getting the numbers and the bodies around, and Josh Sargent not happy with that call. But I think it maybe was pulled back for something that happened earlier.
Yeah, she did a good job of letting the play go. Everyone's upset. Sargent obviously not making a foul there, but Kenzie just getting a little bit grabby after some great challenges. I mean, Kenzie's been leaving that back line and putting a lot of pressure on the ball every time it comes into his area.
I do enjoy the style of refereeing, of letting it go as long as possible. The advantage is there, let them play. Don't just
allows a game to start to get its natural pattern, have a great flow to it. And players just test the edge every now and then, but it's always a better contest when a referee just lets it be a physical confrontation.
You never did that, did you? Test the edge?
Mine was more on falling without contact. I mean, I wasn't the testing edge, taking people out.
Ball pushed forward down the left side. Scally will try and get the challenge in there as Blackman pushes forward from that left wing back position. Maybe you were the one being fouled when players were testing again.
Yeah, those are the type of games where my shirt just looked a little bit bigger after the first 20 minutes.
Ream away, brought down by Morris in the midfield. And he did well to get that off Martinez. Aronson, the Leeds man, skipping past the first challenge, but then couldn't get past Carrasquilla. Now it's Christian Martinez rolling it through and into the side netting from Eduardo Guerrero.
Well, it's a really good tackle. I mean, you see how he puts his legs together to make sure it doesn't sneak through. Lovely way to this pass and timing of the run. But McKenzie, even though it doesn't get there, he forces a poor angle shot. He's got it covered, so that ball can't go on frame. You can see the Panamanian players, they're just working so hard, but struggling to get possession, struggling to climb into the game.
It's on by Josh Sargent, who hasn't scored for the US since 2019. Aronson through here for Christian Pulisic. It's Christian Pulisic driving it straight against the boot of Miller. There were other options available, but it's out on the far side for a throw, as Miller was able to get the block in there on Pulisic.
Really well done here by Miller. Just watch as Pulisic, there's slight hesitation right here. And Miller just pauses so that passing lane isn't there. Forces them into a tough angle. Really good defending there.
31 goals in 73 caps for Christian Pulisic. New Zealand was his first substitute appearance for the US since February of 2022. He came off the bench and scored. Great club form right now. Scored in his last 4 league games for AC Milan. Blackman fouled. Pulisic was asked by the media yesterday about why he's in such good form and what's leading to it. And he said, really, it's not something that surprises him, because he said he's worked his whole career for these sorts of moments. So we see that foul from Aronson on Blackman. But he talked about being the trust that he's been given at the club, and then he says sometimes as a player you'll have these opportunities and you miss them, and you go through a run and you're not quite sure why, and you think you're doing the same things, and then other times it just works.
Well, being fit is one thing, but I'll tell you, it reminds me of when Landon broke onto the scene, and all of a sudden you put a few good games together, especially a jump up, right, going from the under 20s to the full team. And Landon was excellent in qualifying, gets into the World Cup. It bees the same, and then all of a sudden you're on a run where you're fit, and the belief starts to reach a level that's commensurate with the talent. And Pulisic is enjoying that right now. The injuries definitely tripped him up, but he's enjoying his play. He's been excellent, just dominant with Milan. And he's been transferring it to the national team, and he needs help. He can't come into the U.S. team and be expected to carry games, and he's going to get more attention. He's going to be the focus of defensive schemes and units that try to frustrate him. So other players have to start to step their game up around him.
Mauricio Pochettino calling him in the press conference yesterday one of the best offensive players in the world. Christian Pulisic wasn't quite sure how to respond to that when he was told about it in the media scrum.
Well, I mean, Pulisic, what I love about him, it doesn't really matter whether it's a great performance or criticism. I mean, he just puts his head down, does the job, and you could tell really absolutely enjoys playing and loves coming in with the national team. I think that's clear every time he comes in with the U.S. You never question his determination.
Let's head back downstairs. Melissa Ortiz.
You guys were talking about Christian Pulisic. Now, Mauricio Pochettino is his 8th U.S. men's national team coach. And what you guys just mentioned about Mauricio saying he's one of the best attacking players in the world. Well, Christian says...
Offside flag is up here, Melissa, so you can carry on.
Christian says he actually isn't surprised. It's a result of all of the work he has put in his entire life. And I know I have this ability, and he's just kind of riding on that high.
US Soccer on TNT is brought to you by Volkswagen, presenting partner of US Soccer. 37 minutes played in Austin, Texas. 0-0 between the US and Panama. Panama coming forward here with Barcenas. Murillo with a cross into the box. McKenzie steps in. And Robinson is able to get out of trouble there against Barcenas. But here come Panama with Murillo once again. Murillo causing no danger whatsoever.
That last little sequence got Pochettino off the bench. Yeah, just I love that he's going to let people play. He's going to let them play with freedom and not be scared. But turnovers at this level that shouldn't happen. He's going to get off the bench. I think his presence over near the touchline is enough to let people know. There's certain giveaways, there's certain turnovers. There are just tiny lapses that can happen.
Pochettino having a long conversation with Thomas Christiansen, the 51-year-old Danish-born head coach of Panama, before the game started. Both spent plenty of time in Spain as a player. Christiansen signing for Barcelona back in 1991, never quite made it to the first team. Played in the Bundesliga with Bochum and Hanover, former Leeds United boss. Also managed clubs in Belgium and Cyprus, and he's been in charge of Panama since July of 2020. Pulisic. Lovely link-up play between Pulisic and Sargent. It's into the path of Aronson! Denied by Mosquera. We await the opening goal here at Q2 Stadium as Aronson goes close, testing the Panama keeper. 8 clean sheets in 29 previous caps for Orlando Mosquera in goal for Panama. Lovely interchange passing there going forward between Sargent, Pulisic, and finding that ball through for Aronson.
You'll hear the word transition a lot. And one of the good things about transition with the U.S. team in this phase with Pochettino we're seeing is normally it's 3 phases. Win the ball, get in, think about a good position, and then go and attack. It's win the ball and go and attack. And it's just so quick from those moments when they turn the ball over that players are already thinking before that ball turns over, what do I need to do to get into an attacking position once we win this back?
Rodriguez, the ball out to the far side. Carrasquilla plays it forward. Rodriguez once again here. Cut out by Robinson. Morris. Here's Scally. Musa has Got off at speed down that right side. Shoulder to shoulder with Roderick Miller. And Musa is fouled. Let's take a look here at our AT&T net cam.
You see Mascara just checking his angles, and he's got it right. And I think that's got to be a little bit lower if it's going to be difficult for Mascara. And Aronson just puts it at a nice height for the goalkeeper to go grab.
Roderick Miller with the foul. 3 starts for him at Copa America. Also played in the Copa America Centenario in 2016. Pulisic across there to take it. Ream and McKenzie both forward from the back. Panama's line outside the area, on the edge of the D there. Pulisic sends this one in. McKenzie climbing, couldn't get there. Comes back out for Busio. Busio's ball chipped into the box, and then it's over the bar from Sargent. Head in hands for a moment there from Josh Sargent.
What a return that would have been for Sargent. And there's a look as the ball makes its way through to Busio. Just cleans it up, takes a look. He puts it in a spot where it just deflects perfectly to Sargent. It is skipping at a level that's tough, but a player with his quality, he's got to hit the target there. You can see how disappointed he was in himself.
Panama through the midfield here with Guerrero. He'll try and go from distance. He wants the corner and he gets the corner here. 3 minutes to go until half-time. Coming up next is the Volkswagen half-time show. Sarah Walsh, Brian Dunseth, DeMarcus Beasley pitch side. Jose Luis Rodriguez coming across to take this one. Plays for Juarez on loan from Red Star Belgrade. Part of the 2018 World Cup squad for Panama. Having only made his debut a month before. Rodriguez whips it into the front post, headed away firmly by McKenzie, out of play for another throw. Seen very little by way of sustained attacking pressure in the US final third by Panama so far tonight. Murillo. Is he fouled there by Robinson? The assistant referee has given the free kick here the way of the US. Michael Murillo not too happy with the call. Murillo winning the Supporters' Shield during his time with the New York Red Bulls back in 2018. Now plays for Marseille, where he's started all 7 games in the league this season. They're third in Ligue 1. Farinha. Mascara. Ball high towards that back post. Blackman, back it comes to Rodriguez. Rodriguez with the cross into the middle, and Ream stoops to head away. Comes back for Coco Carrasquilla, who lets it fly.
It was really interesting about that too, because I looked down right as that entry pass beat the midfield. I looked down, Pochettino had already turned around and he went to the bench, just frustrated that ball was able to make its way through and they could get turned. And here's where that chance ends. Falls to the top there. It's just never putting that on target. And as great as the first half performance has been for the U.S., you know, Panama's just, they are right there. They've been edging slowly into attacking positions, finding their way slightly into this game. So the U.S. need to continue to put the pressure on and get those clear chances, but got to bury one.
The US ranked 18th in the FIFA rankings, down from 16th after that last FIFA window. Panama number 37. Panama making the Nations League Final Four in March. Lost against Mexico in the semi-final and then 1-0 against Jamaica in the third-place game. Just one clean sheet in 9 games for Panama in this calendar year. It's a World Cup qualifying win in June against Guyana by 2-0. Into the 60 seconds of stoppage time being added at the end of the first half. Mackenzie turning it back towards Matt Turner. 2 clean sheets in 8 games for Turner for the US in 2024. Morris. Even Morris across the back here for Mackenzie. 5 league starts for Mackenzie for Toulouse. 1 win and 7 for him. Joined from Genk in mid-August. This is Ream. Scally.
Yeah, this is a very comfortable position for Scally. Talking about building confidence, not feeling the pressure to have to go forward constantly. A good first half for the U.S. team, and you can't pick out a bad performance.
And Mauricio Pochettino will be looking for a cutting edge from his team as we head into the second 45 here at Q2 Stadium. No changes for either side to the lineups that started the game for both of these teams tonight. US winless in 4 straight on home soil. First time since a 7-game stretch back in August of 2010 to June of 2011. Robinson down the left side had a very early chance for the US inside the opening couple of minutes of this game. It's Pulisic, finds Robinson. This is Josh Sargent, who also had a really good opportunity. Didn't get too much service in that first half, Josh Sargent. His first start since the World Cup, but the one chance that did come his way, he couldn't quite finish. Martinez plays this one in, goes off Tim Ream, and out for a corner on the far side. Ream captaining the team tonight for the US. Ream becoming the 10th outfield player to earn a cap after their 37th birthday for the US men's national team. The first since Preki back in 2001. But into Barcenas. And the US might be able to break here. Pulisic just able to get that one through for Aronson as the referee allows play to continue. Pulisic putting himself back up off the ground as Aronson cuts inside. Scally. It's Musa down the right. It's in for Mackenzie. Ream's ball down the left. Robinson making that run forward, receives it off Pulisic. Back it comes to Christian Pulisic. And that cross is deep in towards Musa at the back post. Brought down by Busio. Martinez trying to get a foot in. Busio dances away. Musa plays the ball inside here for Scally. Scally going for the cross. And Mosquera able to watch it wide.
Good opportunity for Scally. He's got to do better with that. You can see the frustration. Busio did so well. Beautiful feet, balance to go collect that and give him another opportunity.
Scally, the Borussia Mönchengladbach man, starting the first 6 Bundesliga games. Played 90 minutes in 5 of them before 76 minutes in a 2-1 loss against Augsburg last week. 6 points from the first 6 games for Scally from Borussia Mönchengladbach. Ream. Busio. Played in for Morris. Back for Mackenzie. Starting back-to-back US men's national team matches for the first time since June of 2021. Mackenzie once again. Robinson is off to the races down the left side. On the end of that ball forward from Ream. He's battling there against Murillo. And Robinson's done really well. Finds the ball inside for Pulisic. Pulisic for Aronson. Back towards Christian Pulisic. A cross goal! Put in by Musa! The first goal scored under Mauricio Pochettino goes to Yunus Musa.
What a moment for Musa. Just watch this sequence. It starts with Robinson. This is lovely. Yeah, the poise, cuts it back, and just the strength, too, to get this little ball to Pulisic. Lovely one, too. And Aronson, the fact he takes a touch and waits, sets it up, and Musa reads it so early. He's coming off that right side. He has chalk on his shoes the whole game, but just reads this play early. But this is lovely from Pulisic. Perfect weight on the pass. And that's a wonderful finish from Musa. And there it is. You can see he was already off, got in front of his defender, Blackman. Right there. It's just an incredible run. The timing's there. Lovely sequence. And what a moment for Musa. We talked about confidence. We talked about Pochettino putting him in this wide position. Well, look at the smile on his face, and look at the goal he was able to get for the U.S.
The first international goal for Yunus Musa, the 21-year-old born in New York City. Made his debut against Wales back in November of 2020. Here's Josh Sargent. And Sargent drops it in. Mosquera makes the save. We talked in the first half about Yunus Musa needing a bit of a boost in confidence. He certainly got it here. And another player who would love to return to the US score sheet is Josh Sargent. Yeah,
the other thing, Luke, as we watched that save that was noticeable was that was more than a celebration to go 1-0 up. You could read the body language of the players, and we heard about it from a few. That Musa's a very important player for the U.S. national team. Getting him with this club, obviously, is a goal of Pochettino's, but just getting his players' confidence back. And you could see the U.S. players happy for him. They know how important he could be to this side and how important it is that Musa starts to show the type of belief in himself that goes along with the quality that he has.
He gets his first US goal on his 42nd cap, and here he is once again. Yunus Musa, 5 appearances in the league for AC Milan. 1 assist in those 5 games. Starting though just one of the first 7 league games this season in Serie A. Didn't play on Sunday in the loss against Fiorentina. An unused substitute in the first 2 Champions League games against Liverpool and Bayer Leverkusen. Martinez. Barcenas here for Panama. Barcenas, great save, Turner, and he's done it again. A double stop from Matt Turner to keep the United States in front. Turner went off injured at half-time against Panama in Copa America. He needed to come up big there, 7 minutes into the second half, to ensure the United States maintain their advantage. US winning all 4 previous games here at Q2 Stadium. They've scored 12 goals now in this stadium. They're yet to concede.
Well, Scally just, he can't let Barcenas back onto his right foot here. That was such a good save, because Turner, you can see he's just blinded. He can't see this very clearly, and it comes at him. Not only makes the first save, but so quick to get up and get across the goal and come up with the second. Really big time from Matt Turner.
Green. Ball played forward over the top for Anthony Robinson, who brings it down superbly. Robinson into the box. And I think a goal kick is the outcome. Or is it a corner? Corner given by the referee.
But we just saw Robinson at a corner. I mean, just so much credit. This whole play starts with him, and then Pulisic, who's played inverted a lot. Lovely footwork. Excellent way to the pass from Aronson. But look at this reaction from Musa. It says everything.
Mosquera can come and claim. Quickly out for Koko Karaskia to chase. It's Brendan Aronson who is trying to get back there to defend, and then Robinson in with a challenge.
Robinson's he's not even breathing heavy. It's like he's in the Matrix or something. I mean, he's just relentless.
Saints. Ball out wide to the left here. Blackman. The other thing about the Musa goal and that search for confidence is that you know from the conversations we had with Mauricio Pochettino that he will be delighted for him, having followed Yunus Musa for a long time, from his time at Tottenham when his son was in the Spurs Academy and played a few times against Yunus Musa back in his Arsenal Academy days. He's known him for a long time, and he's almost made it a bit of a mission of his right now to try and get him back into his best form.
It's hard to measure this component of a manager, but if you talk to any player, whether current or past, it is that authentic, genuine desire to watch the success of a player happen, not a team happen. Yeah, it's not about the wins, it's not about the manager getting glory, it's about finding what motivates each individual player, finding what they need, learning about them. And obviously he knows Musa well.
Green looking long towards Josh Sargent, who got a touch to it. Back for Aronson here. The keeper is out of his goal. And the referee has given a handball. Brendan Aronson started both games in September against Canada and New Zealand. Starts 3 straight US men's national team games for just the second time. First since World Cup qualifying in October and November of 2021. Here's Guerrero. Flag is up for offside on the far side.
Yeah, the challenge for Pochettino obviously is he's a club team coach. He's used to getting a lot of time with players and living in and around the players. You're around each other so much. So it'd be really interesting how he creates those bonds and he creates those connections, having these infrequent moments where players come into camp. And I think his relationship with the coaching staff of each club that these players are at is going to be absolutely crucial for him to be able to continue to develop those strong bonds.
Away here by Blackman. Panama pushing forward here down the right side. Morris doing the defending as Martinez links up there with Rodriguez. Rodriguez with that ball through in towards Murillo. Murillo with a shot. Out here for a corner, which will be taken by Barcenas. International debut all the way back in 2014, started all 3 games at the World Cup in 2018, and all 4 at Copa America this summer. Some movement on the Panama bench, they're about to make a change. This ball from Barcenas into the box, comes all the way towards the back post, Blackman drives it across goal, then it's hit by Guerrero. Robinson with the block. Sargent brings it down. Looked like a handball. Play continues with Rodriguez. Murillo up against Morris. Michael Murillo trying to find his way into the box. Robinson doing the defending over there. Murillo's done well. Murillo cuts it back. Comes back here. Blackman with a shot. Green gets ahead to it. Robinson underneath it. Now Rodriguez with a shot off Reed. Karaskia sliding in with a challenge. Pulisic, Robinson trying to get back. I think that might be a handball.
Well, a very chaotic sequence here that starts with a set piece and it falls far post. Almost surprised to see it come through all the defenders and then skips the whole central group again. Just the commitment's obviously there from the U.S. to try to go get pressure on the ball, but a few different chances here as Panama find their way through. And this is Robinson, who just, you can see he's a little bit gassed now. He's tired. He just is reaching for that, doesn't move his feet. And Aronson does really well to not wait for someone else to step to that after the touch, recovers, and so the pressure is there, as Pochettino will be happy about. Probably won't be happy about how many opportunities in one sequence they were able to try to get off.
Giovanni Ramos is going to be coming in for the first change made by Thomas Christensen for Panama. If we're hearing it will be Ricardo Farinha to leave the game. We are at the hour mark in Austin, Texas. A goal made in Milan is the first goal under Mauricio Pochettino for this side. Club teammates Christian Pulisic and Yunus Musa involved in the goal. Pulisic providing Musa with a fairly straightforward finish for his first international goal. First impressions count. Yunus Musa making a good one. Here comes that change. As Giovanni Ramos comes in. Plays in Peru at Alianza Lima. First time he's played for Panama since March. He was out with a knee injury that kept him out of Copa America. Turner with the ball forward. Busio. Now it's Aronson. Morris with a good foot in. This is Robinson. He's got space to carry it forward down that far side. Up against the substitute Ramos.
This is be the first time we get a look at Pochettino's U.S. team and how they play with the lead. How do they manage this game? Does anything look different? Do they change anything? Are they more conservative? The next 15 or 20 minutes will be telling.
Ream. Across the back it comes for Mark McKenzie. Ream once again.
Based on how they're trying to build out of the back, nothing changes positionally. I like that they're going to continue to play how they're playing. Probe, be patient, find those inverted wingers, find those passes.
Sargent with a driving run forward. He's got options right and left. He uses the goal scorer here, Yunus Musa. Musa in towards Busio. Busio lays it through. Aronson locked away behind for a corner. Ramos, the substitute, coming across to halt the run of Brendan Aronson. The United States knocking on the door once again. Pulisic with an assist on that first goal comes across to take the sixth corner for the US. Referee Katia Garcia just going to have a word with Tim Ream and Roderick Miller. It's Miller who is using too much attention on Ream. Pulisic's ball in towards the 6-yard box. McKenzie's header over. McKenzie hurt.
Yeah, McKenzie, I think in the first half, worried he was going to take a punch from the goalkeeper, which maybe backed away from a chance. This one, he definitely takes one. Very brave to go up and challenge for this. Here's another look at it. Just rising above the crowd. Just takes. At least there are flat hands there rather than that close fist right to the face. That one hurts a little bit more.
McKenzie getting the start again tonight, having played 90 minutes against New Zealand on what was his first appearance in a year since the 4-0 win against Oman back in September of 2023. Back-to-back starts for McKenzie. Marcenas down the left. This is the first game of 2 in this international window for both of these sides. Panama will head north to face Canada in Toronto on Tuesday. The United States getting set to face Mexico. 3 changes coming for Mauricio Pochettino. Pepe will be one of them. We'll also see Tanner Tessman. And I think Christopher Lund as well. Panama getting set to make 3 changes as well.
It's a detail you don't follow a lot, but Mackenzie's been so good when Tim Ream steps into the middle. He's just been covering them all game long. So quick to slide over into that area that Ream vacates when Ream tries to go put pressure on the ball centrally.
Haji Wright coming in as well for the US. So 4 changes, but it looks like 4 on Panama as well. Carrasquilla played forward for Martinez. Martinez with a high ball in towards the edge of the box. And Eduardo Guerrero won't be able to catch that. Pepe, Tessman, Wright and Lund, the players coming in. Pepe coming on at home in Texas. 21-year-old from El Paso scored a goal here against Trinidad and Tobago last November. Hasn't scored for the US since. Busio making way. Sargent and Pulisic both leaving the game as well. And Lund replacing Robinson on that left side. Straight swap. Christopher Lund coming in, the 22-year-old. Started both games in September. His first appearances since the previous October. Josh Sargent may be a little frustrated that getting his chance tonight, he didn't have really too many opportunities, just that one that came his way at the end of the first half.
He's got to really enjoy the freedom, though. It's just, we watched, especially towards the end of last cycle under Berhalter. I mean, listen, Berhalter got a lot of great performances out of Christian Pulisic, but just seemed static, seemed like he was staying too wide too often. Just loved how he was able to float around today.
Headed away by Ream. This is Haji Wright. It's been a great start for his team this season. Haji Wright, Coventry City. Marcenas, Martinez, Carrasquilla and Guerrero, the players that will be leading the game. And as one MLS player leaves with Carrasquilla set to depart, another MLS player will be coming in with Anibal Godoy coming into the game, the 34-year-old from Nashville. Right. Here's Morris. Morris with the ball over the top. Haji Wright can't get on the end of it. So with a little over 20 minutes remaining, both teams going to their benches here. Jose Fajardo, one of the players coming into the game. Scored a couple of goals against the US in a friendly in November of 2020. Jose Fajardo also scored the winner in Copa America. Kokotska Araskia leaving the game, the 25-year-old Houston Dynamo man, replaced by Anibal Godoy. In his 5th year now with Nashville, he's been in MLS since 2015, the former San Jose Earthquakes man. 12 appearances against the US during his international career since making his debut in 2010.
This is definitely not the first touch you're looking for as a substitute. Oof. Man, they took the full force of that one. It's important they get them off and assess this the right way.
Concern for Mauricio Pochettino with Ricardo Pepi. So early in this game, Ricardo Pepi with PSV has played 8 games and won 8. Limited in starts once again this season. He's got 3 goals in 7 league appearances. Scored twice on his only start a couple of weeks ago. Had substitute appearances in the Champions League against Juve and Sporting. Do you like the new format, the new Champions League format?
I do. I love it. Yeah.
Some big games already for Ricardo Pepi in the Champions League and PSV.
I think you get some great matchups early on.
No Pepi, no party. Lots of Pepi's fan club in the stands tonight at home in Texas. Meant a lot to him to score here last fall. Pepi with 3 goals in 2 games in Austin. Scored twice against Jamaica here in October of 2021. Scored against TNT in November. Still 1-0 here in the 72nd minute. Musa's goal in the 49th, his first international goal. The difference between the teams. Here's a US free kick. Usually in these friendlies it tends to get a little bit sloppy. The rhythm disappears a little bit just as teams make wholesale changes, if they have done. 8 different players on the pitch than were just about 10 minutes ago.
You couldn't change half the team in my era.
Played forward down that left side. The flag is up as Lund was racing onto it. Lund able to push forward down that left side. We mentioned in the last camp, having spoken to him about the difference between club and country. Doesn't, with Palermo in Italy, get the chance to push forward very often as a defender and a fullback. US taking on Mexico and Guadalajara on Tuesday. The Estadio Akron, the first friendly against Mexico since 2012. Haji Wright tries to stop that run as it's played out to that far side by Carlos Harvey. Carlos Harvey, one of the players coming in here for Panama. Plays in Major League Soccer with Minnesota United. Lund trying to get a foot in to stop that shot. Matt Turner was looking to get things going quickly after the play down that side by Michael Murillo.
Well, with those changes, the U.S. not really changing the formation or how they're trying to set up. Testament just slotting in like Lucio did. You might see them a little flatter, Ian Morris, than we saw Morrison or Bucio, but first performance with Aiden Morrison and Bucio at the national team level. Obviously, they played together at the youth team level. They look really good together.
Hannah Tessman coming off the bench for his third appearance. Former Dallas youngster. Tessman making the move to Lyon in France. They're 8th in the French top flight right now. Went there in August after 3 years in Italy. Was the captain, played every minute of all 4 for the US at the Olympics. And would probably have been in the camp in September, but for the fact that he was just making a move of clubs. Right ball forward. Blackman. Now down the left side, it's Gondola. Freddie Gondola, one of the substitutes for Panama. Plays his club football in Kazakhstan. Back it comes for Annabelle Godoy. Pushed through there by Harvey. Away by McKenzie. He couldn't quite get there. Godoy's ball out to the left, finds Blackman. Back it comes for Annabelle Godoy. Missed the Copa America with a hamstring. His last international goal came against the US in that 5-1 loss in World Cup qualifying for Panama and Orlando 2022. Inside the final 15 minutes in Austin as the US continue to lead. Musa has to deal with this one, comes across to Blackman. Back for Godoy. Aronson tried to get a foot in. Harvey went down a little too easily there. The referee didn't want to give anything. Fajardo has it here just on the edge of the box. He felt he got a knock to the face, but Aronson can bring it away here with the US. Another change coming for the US. Malik Tillman will be coming in.
Just noticing with all those substitutions, a little drop in the commitment and intensity to close the ball down in those central positions. You know, one part and players coming on might be a little disjointed, but also players like Aronson that have covered a tremendous amount of ground. He's just, you can tell, a little bit gassed.
That's a free kick. In fact, offside is given as the flag was up on the far side, and here comes the change with Malik Tillman coming in. Abdil Ayaza also getting set to come in for Panama. It's Brendan Aronson that will leave the game after his third successive start for his country. Aronson, the Leeds man, turns 24 later in October. Started the last 7 games for Leeds after being sub in the first 2. In the Championship this season, Aronson gets a hug from Mauricio Pochettino and a well-deserved rest. You just talked about the ground he covered.
Pochettino has to love Aronson. Just has to love a player that's in an attacking position, worked that hard off the ball. Also made some great runs in the final third. He adds consistent finishing to that, and he becomes a player that's really hard not to include in the 11. And he's done it at Leeds. That's how he climbed into the starting lineup, returning to Leeds.
And how he got the fans on side as well, in a tricky situation for Brendan Aronson. 2 goals in his first 9 games in the Championship this season. In fact, 2 in the first 3 games of the campaign.
Your attention please, substitution Panama. Exiting in the 17th minute, number 25,
The US unbeaten in their last 7 against Mexico as they get set to head to Guadalajara. We'll have that one for you on Tuesday night. And then it's Nations League games in the CONCACAF Nations League quarter-final in November. Away first, then home in St. Louis. They'll find out after this window who their opponent will be. Tessman's ball forward to halfway. Tessman once again first to the ball. Swept in there by Rodriguez, but Ream will hoist it high. Lund flicks it clear. Now Tillman will pick it up here. PSV man driving forward. Mackenzie. Tasman out to the near side for Scally, who has space to carry this one forward over halfway. Finds Yunus Musa down the right touchline, and Musa trying to push the ball past Blackman. Just gives him a little shove to help him to the ground. Yunus Musa's first international goal, the difference between these two teams. The US were leading 1-0 late in their last game against New Zealand in September. Conceded a very strange goal and had to settle for a draw there against New Zealand. This one does feel a little bit different tonight. Right with the ball inside for Tillman.
They're just losing a little bit of that edge and that dominance. Panama looking the more dangerous side the last 10 or 15 minutes.
Past the 80-minute mark in Austin. The US still yet to concede in this stadium. That's the 5th time they've played here. Blackman down the left. Cesar Blackman plays it inside for Annabel Godoy. Gondola down the left, gets that cross in towards the front post. Mackenzie clears.
Pochettino on the sideline. I mean, he's 2 steps almost onto the field, standing right next to the referee's assistant. Just frustrated with the last few sequences of play, and you can see him. He's just motioning to pick up the tempo a little bit, pick up the energy. And it's one of the substitutes that he's really getting into. Might be right. He's just didn't like that last sequence where it was just too easy to come out of that side, where they didn't pin the ball down and force the pressure.
Alex Zendejas getting set to come in. Zendejas, the man from Club America. 20,239 the attendance here in Austin tonight for the first game under Mauricio Pochettino. Will they see a win here for the United States? A little disjointed in recent moments, but Wright plays it forward for Pepe. Little flick from Musa. Mackenzie forward. This is Tanner Tessman. And inside for Aidan Morris. Morris getting his first US assist on Luca Della Torre's goal against Canada in Kansas City. Here's Musa. We're hearing he will be the one to make way for Zendejas. Just an 8th cap for Alex Zendejas. Getting into his first squad since the Nations League against Trinidad and Tobago last fall. Morris. Now Scally. This is Musa. Morris pushing it forward, looking for Tillman. Put in from Harvey, played forward by Blackman. Strong challenge from Mackenzie. It'll just be a 4th win in 11 games in the calendar year for the United States. They've only failed to score once in 10 games now. That was the Uruguay game at Copa America. So here comes the change. Zendejas to replace the goal scorer, and right now the match winner, Yunus Musa. Here is the All-State moment of the match.
Finding himself in a new spot today out in the flank, and yeah, just a really solid game first half, getting down the flank, creating opportunities, and then finally gets his moment with a lovely little combination here between Aronson and Pulisic. And Pulisic, first time, just fires the ball into a height that Musa goes and meets with his instep. But Robinson, just his work on this is everything. But beautiful timing on the pass back from Aronson. And the club teammates combine for a beautiful goal, and Musa had a big smile on his face.
Some defending for the US to do here, and it's out off Lund for a corner on the far side. Maybe some nervy moments coming here as Musa takes a seat. And those three players on that back row there gave it a lot tonight for this team. Thomas Christensen standing on the edge of his technical area, both arms aloft, trying to get a message onto his players. Comes out towards the edge of the box here. Escobar chips it in. Fidel Escobar once again, the high ball in towards the edge of the box, and it goes off the head of Ramos for a goal kick. Matt Turner trying to rally the troops at the back.
Matt Turner hasn't been called on much, but the moment he was in that first half, just two big saves.
He'll also have in his mind what happened right at the end of that New Zealand game.
Not his fault whatsoever, just a freak deflection.
They want to make sure they manage this game and see it out tonight. Turner pushing everybody forward here with the goal kick. Haji Wright climbs to flick it on. Tanner Tessman trying to get there, but it's flicked over by Gondola. Right once more. Henry couldn't get there. Turned out to the far side by Ramos. Here is Giovanni Ramos. Push forward down that right touchline as the cross is a good one into the middle, and it's put wide. Fajardo misses the target, doesn't trouble Turner.
How does he miss this? This is a gorgeous ball.
What a ball.
It didn't really look like he needed to slide. You know, it looked like he could have just kept going and side-footed it. Oh, that's a terrible missed opportunity there. That should have been 1-1.
Fajardo with 3 career goals already against the US. Thomas Christensen knows that could have been their big moment.
What an incredible ball that was. McKenzie had no chance at it.
By Ramos.
I think Pochettino, obviously they want to see this out and get a win. He will definitely look at moments like that. Just make it very clear there are details that have to be considered. There are moments that you make the right call, you make the right step, you move in the right direction, you close down a passing lane. All of that was there through most of the first half, but you just can't afford to switch off at the end of the game like that.
McKenzie finds Ream. Ream pushing it forward towards Haji Wright. Closed down there by Ramos. And the referee gives the free kick here from the US. Giovanni Ramos not happy with the decision. Scally. Zendejas dropping deep, but Scally looks long towards Pepe on halfway. Couldn't find Ricardo Pepe. It's put out into touch. Panama sense they might get another opportunity here inside the final 2 minutes of the 90, plus whatever time is to be added on by Katia Garcia, the referee from Mexico. Blackman with the throw. Down the line it goes from Cesar Blackman. Aidan Morris trying to get a foot in. It's Rodriguez here at the corner flag. Scally battling for it. Comes back out towards Zendejas. Zendejas almost lost possession. Morris was almost chopped down. But it's out for a US throw. Challenge coming from Gondola.
And obviously expect Panama to push. You expect the players that come on have some energy. Just there's this drop in intensity in a certain way of just closing the right moments and matching the type of energy that the U.S. has at the beginning, but also just, sloppy with the ball. Not being able to manage this game out by possessing it.
Ramos forward. Neat play here from Panama as it comes through. Ramos couldn't get there, comes out towards Gondola. Gondola's cross in. 6 yards out, flicked away there by Tessman. Haji right back there trying to defend. Murillo gets the cross in, and Matt Turner will just fall on the ball. Final seconds of this one, +4 to be added on by the referee. The Austin crowd has done its part tonight. Morris, now Ream. Right tries to get a flick on, couldn't find Pepe. Played back forward there by Escobar. And then Fajardo out wide to the right. Crossfield ball finds Gondola. Gondola up against Scally. Alec Tillman trying to win it back here for the US. Stepping into that challenge is Lund on the far side. And here come the United States forward down the right. And it's into the path of Alex Zendejas. He's got Pepe in right in the middle. Zendejas cuts inside, just behind right. Not close enough to Pepe.
Now, this is the moment where the game stretched out. The U.S. have to be able to take a sting out of it by possessing it, moving the ball around.
Tessman back for McKenzie. 3 minutes of stoppage time remaining.
I think one big difference is Pepe and, as you're right, just a little more static in those high positions, making it easy for the back line of Panama to come put pressure on them. Don't see as much interchanging and runs over the top, dropping deep to try to get on the balls. We saw Pulisic and Josh Sargent were out there.
Towards Turner. Pressure coming, but Turner can play it downfield, comes straight back. Escobar. Zendejas with a header. Tillman and Zendejas trying to win it back once again. Inside from Blackman. Gondola. Up towards Pepe. Zendejas can't quite get there. Ball played high by Escobar to the far side. Lund going across to defend. Comes out for Rodriguez here. He's up against Haji right. Rodriguez with the cross into the box. Headed away by McKenzie. Ayasa with the ball backwards for Escobar. High ball for Murillo down the right side up against Lund, who goes strong with the challenge and wins the free kick. Midway through the 4 minutes being added on. Mauricio Pochettino making his voice heard on the edge of the technical area.
He was dissatisfied with how deep they were sitting. He wanted that back line to push out, wanted everyone to push and take some real estate.
Matt Turner taking his time with the free kick as we move towards the final minute of the 4 being added on. Tillman plays the ball down the left for right. Pepe wants it played first time. Pepe! Ricardo Pepe with a goal to ensure a winning start for Mauricio Pochettino. Ricardo Pepe back home in Texas, back amongst the goals.
Look, as this ball drops down, just watch how quick and clean this sequence is, and just falling asleep for a second. As you're right, he's onside. It's a beautiful ball. It had to be first time in order to beat the back line. And right through the legs of Mosquera. That's the way to kill a game. And they were white-knuckling it for a little bit. When Pochettino gets that second goal in the breathing room. And Pepe gets a goal in front of a lot of family.
First international goal for Pepe since scoring in this stadium last November against Trinidad and Tobago. And Ricardo Pepe makes sure for the United States his 11th international goal on his 31st cap. Referee with a check of the watch. Long over the top here, Scally and McKenzie chasing back. It's gone out for a corner.
McKenzie's had a wonderful match. He really hasn't put a foot wrong through most of the game. Obviously, there was that one opportunity, but it was just an excellent ball played in behind him, and there should have been pressure on it. But he's been an absolute mountain of a defender tonight.
One last chance for Panama to try and spoil the clean sheet. Towards that 6-yard box, McKenzie wins the header. The final whistle goes. Victory for Mauricio Pochettino on his debut as the head coach.